Welcome to Leadville, Colorado. We are high in the mountains and we are ready for stop number 3 of the 2025 Life Time Grand Prix. We are getting down to business and everybody's got their game face on.
This race is just so dynamic now. You never know exactly how it's going to play out.
You're always kind of sitting at the limit. I mean, everyone is the whole day, and you can't push it over too much.
This race, it is something really special. It's just so iconic. But when you're in it, man, it's so hard.
With altitude, you just have to hold back. If you go too hard, you pretty much have to get off your bike to recover almost. It's a hard race to just finish.
I mean, Leadville is one of the highest races in the world, so it's become one of the most difficult ones as well.
In 3, 2, 1. The 2025 Life Time Leadville Trail 100, presented by Kenetik, is underway.
It's pretty amazing how much this race has changed over the years. I remember we used to just kind of soft pedal our way down to the bottom of Keevens, and now it's just a pro peloton just fighting for every wheel. And even when it's paved, people are intentionally getting off into the gravel on the edge to go around people, and you hear a lot of tires getting buzzed.
It was interesting mix with the flat bars and the drop bars, and it was kind of fun to be on drop bars where you had space where other people on flat bars didn't have space to kind of move up.
That first point of the course, right, comes about 6 miles in, and that's going to be the St. Keevens climb.
Yeah, I've won this race 4 times, and I've got a pretty good feel for how the course goes, and I always do my homework up here, come up and pre-ride and check it all out. And in a way, there's some pressure on myself, but I also don't feel a ton. I'm just here to do me and see if we can go any faster.
Keegan has his really specific pacing plan, so that the big bomb is coming immediately.
Kind of just once the climb started, Keegan was just around me and just hit it, and I was like, okay, have fun. This is not my race.
And I wasn't really thinking about following him because it's just sort of above what's sustainable for all of us.
Going to Keevens, I was like, well, I just want to ride and try and blow this race a part of it and get a nice select group of 3 to 5 guys was the intent. We just work well together when it's a group that small, and it's a lot more enjoyable, and you go faster.
Now we're seeing these 3 guys already separating themselves. So we see Keegan and John and Simone.
Keegan's going to the well early with this effort.
I ended up with an awesome group of Braden Lang, Cole Patton, and Taylor Ledeen, and it was just a perfect situation.
It ended up splitting into, I guess, the first 3 up front, and then a medium group, and then I was maybe in the 3rd group, I think.
Yeah, pretty much as soon as we came at St. Keevens and we saw we had a small gap, it was just game on, and we just pushed. And yeah, there wasn't even a whole lot of talking. Everyone just knew that was it. Everyone was just riding, taking turns, taking good pulls. No BS, we were just committed to rolling.
Quickly enough, we only get down to 4 last year. You had to go for 3 this time?
Who can really excel at altitude? And my gosh, here's 3 examples of...
Yeah, right? 3 specimens at altitude, just getting it done.
Again, in years past, this race used to be really formulaic. You'd kind of get a first selection over the top of Keevens, and it would be really casual down the pavement around Turquoise Lake. You'd eat, you'd chat, catch up with friends, and now it's just rotating. A race is getting serious when conversation stops, and there's just no conversation all of Leadville now. It's just silence.
I was just looking at my power meter, being kind of boring. My plan was just trying to race a really boring race. Tried last year to follow the lighter guys, and I can't do that. I'll just blow up.
So all three riders still working relatively well together. Smartly committed to opening up this gap because we know that chase group behind was still relatively unified. Still some hitters in there like Payson and Cole Patton and Braden Lang driving that group.
So our group actually swelled on pipeline. Our group went from 4th through 7th, and then we got caught by another group, and all of a sudden we were basically riding for 4th through like 12th, which wasn't too surprising because the group behind was bigger and they could see us. You know, there's always going to be a little more momentum there.
I had about the same group, I would say, from maybe halfway up Sugarloaf and all the way to bottom of Columbine.
Columbine's the biggest climb of the day. That's where you can make up the most time and really like kind of solidify the race there.
At this point, all the preparation for Leadville, all that training, it's all about Columbine.
Obviously it's not done because you still have a long ways to get home. That is a place where you can really make the most time. So I think everyone just kind of has their pace they can ride, and that's where the race is kind of won and lost there, I think.
We're barely into the low slopes, and just like that, we've got about a 10-second gap there where Keegan Swenson is starting to make his move.
Kind of near the base of Columbine, there's a pretty good ramp there at the bottom. It gets quite steep, like 12% or so. So I think there is where I opened the gap up on Simon. And John was a little bit back going into the feed zone at the bottom, and then he ended up catching Simon at the top, it looked like. It's definitely a bit of a gamble to, go solo from Columbine. My second year here, I did that. I was like, I don't know if this was the right move or not. Like, it's a long ways back to ride alone, and you have to be really smart and be smooth and can't push too hard. I think now I've got the confidence that I know I can do it, but it still takes a lot of focus and kind of a lot of to set your mind to it and keep pushing.
I actually felt dismal on Columbine and thought I was in for a frustrating day, and went over the top of Columbine, I think 12th or 13th, like not nearly where I'd like to be.
Columbine, I just set my own pace. Me and Chad Haga kind of rode up together, and at the very top when you got out of the trees, then suddenly I saw that second chase group just ahead of us, and yeah, I caught some of them, but there's still maybe 6-7 guys ahead. And then on the flats after the descent, I caught up with the second chase group. So we were then fighting for 4th.
He's making really good progress right now, and the gap is just continuing to grow right now with Keegan, probably about 4.5 to 5 minutes.
Just trying to get it done as quick as possible, Not only because I want to go faster and, break the record better, but the quicker you go, the quicker you're finished with the race. So rather than sitting out there alone in the wind.
It got a bit more tactical than I expected. We ended up being maybe a 10-man group pretty quickly.
Kind of right after that, it actually exploded again. And Chad Haga went solo because the group wasn't really working, and then our group split in half.
And I ended up getting off the front with 2 others. So we worked well together to the bottom of power line.
It was really dynamic, and I actually ended up kind of stuck in the group from 8th through 12th again, all the way up until the bottom power line.
I was sitting 5th and then still chasing Chad Haga in front and 4th. Yeah, me and Chad, we had pretty good pace. We were working well together. He was pulling pretty well up the climb. But I did some work at least.
We just rotated on the paved climb up Turquoise Lake. And then right at the top, I just kind of got some separation almost accidentally, just drilled it. And when I put in that effort, came around a corner, all of a sudden I saw Chad and Toby, and I was like, oh my God, that's podium. You've got to be kidding me.
And then pretty much the last steep kicker, Payson hit it. I was kind of ready for it because he did the same 2 weeks ago at the Leadville stage race. But Chad didn't have the power to follow at that point, and then we kind of made a little truce to get to the finish together because Payson knew at least there was a few people chasing behind us.
This is amazing effort by Keegan Swenson. This guy is a generational talent in the sport of mountain bike and gravel racing.
I just know how to race to altitude, and I think part of it is I'm just like naturally good at it. There's no denying that. Like I adapt quite well to altitude, and I grew up and live at it.
He's won just about every major race in the U.S., and he's looking to add number 5 here today.
Oh, it feels great. Yeah, that was the goal. So it's nice to get it done. Like getting 5 in a row is pretty cool. It's quite special. So.
Over 6 hours on the go for John Gaston, number 2 on the podium.
3rd place here on the day, coming across the line from Switzerland, Simone Pilot.
We were kind of starting to play games on the boulevard, and I attacked him as hard as I could on this last pavement roller coming into town and got maybe 5 bike lengths. Toby, I think, is probably like top 3 toughest guys we race with. He just literally does not give up, ever.
As long as I was able to follow it, which I was, I felt pretty confident I was going to do the sprint.
Payson McKelvin really on the comeback trail. Phenomenal coming back from that hip injury at Sea Otter.
There was a lot that went into this one, just kind of a lot of baggage with the injury and stuff. And it was just a pretty emotional finish, just being back up there and proving to myself that I could be.
Leadville 100 always delivers. I think we have seen amazing racing so far, these 3 races in the Grand Prix this year. And again, it didn't disappoint.
One all. Finally. There's Leadville, eh?
If I can defend the top 3 podium, that would be really cool. That's the goal.
I'm still technically speaking in the series, but I'll have one less race to score than everybody else. I'll, look at the points, convince myself that something's possible. Yeah, just try to finish the series kind of with some pride and see what we can do.
What's up, buddy?
That sub-6 mark was very much my goal, has been for 10 years. And man, to be that close and to still feel pretty strong at the end there, it was fun.
I don't know why. I can't help but follow you, even though it is just the dumbest thing.
For me, that third place, that podium feels like victory because, I'm not racing mountain bike.
I just take every race as its own race. I think if you start thinking about the series too much, you get wrapped up in like focusing on that rather than just focusing on racing your bike every weekend. Just kind of take it race by race and try and win as many as I can, and I think that in the end, if you shoot for that, you end up in the best spot. So